Hello, I'm Dr. Leon Stutzman, aka Doc, with another one of my little videos designed to help you to get through these strange days in which we find ourselves, and these are strange days indeed. I'm talking this week about connection, the power of connection, and why you need connection. I was planning a church in a major city when one of the pastors of one of the mega churches came to me and said, there's a pastor in this city that I know you have some peripheral connection to that's going through a really difficult time right now. We'd all like to reach out to him, but he's just too hot. No one knows who you are. So would you reach out to him and see what you can do? I did that. For the next 6 weeks, once a week, I went out to dinner with that man. We had a wonderful time. He got through the crisis. We lost contact. A year or two later, I was thinking about him, wondering what is going on. I flew into LaGuardia Airport. Now, if you've ever flown into LaGuardia, it is a huge complex, huge airport, New York City. I flew into LaGuardia thinking about this man. When I got to the end of the ramp, there he was, standing with his wife. I walked up and said, man, we lost connection. How are you doing? He was in the city doing a meeting. I was in the city doing a meeting. He had a morning service, so I availed myself of his morning service. We reconnected and had 2 days of great fellowship, and well, I haven't seen him since, but the connection is still there. You need to understand the power of connection. Connections are not just for today and tomorrow. Connections seem to be forever if you understand the power of connection. I've had a lot of success in life because I've always been able to recognize the power of connections. I made a connection, and that connection connected me to a man in Ashdown, Arkansas. I went to Ashdown, Arkansas. That man said, you need to speak for my father out in California. Well, his father had one of the mega churches in America at that time. We arranged a meeting. We went out to California. He said, you need to talk to my brother in Detroit, Michigan. Well, the church in Detroit, Michigan was the premier revival church in America at that time. And anyone who was anyone spoke at Liberty Temple, Detroit. I made the connection. The connection proved to be profitable, and over the years I maintained that connection. There's power in connections. I'm talking this week about connection. What kind of connections do you have in your life? I'm glad that you connect with me every week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on these little videos. At least I hope you're connecting Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with these little videos, and perhaps you're even connecting on Sunday morning at AspireChurch.tv. I love these little connections. There's power in connection. You draw something off of connections. You add something in connections, because connections always go two ways. If you have the right kind of connections in life, you're going to have the right kind of life. What kind of connections are you making? What kind of connections do you have? And what are you doing with the connections that you do have? I'll be talking about that more this week. And of course, I'll talk about the greatest connection that you can have. Jesus said, John 15, verse 7, if you abide in me and my words abide in you, you can ask what you will and it shall be done unto you. If you abide in me, he said, and my words abide in you. That's talking about a two-way connection. You're abiding in him, his words are abiding in you, and if you're abiding in him and his words abiding in you, you can ask what you will. So as you consider that connection, I want you to start asking big. It's going to be a week of asking big. It's going to be a week of making connections. And I hope that as you join with me again on Wednesday and Friday, I hope that you'll be looking about connections. This Wednesday, I'm going to be talking about subtle connections, because there are subtle connections that you make in life. And when you learn how to recognize those connections, life is so much easier. It's powerful stuff. It'll change your life. I'm Dr. Leon Stutzman, aka Doc. This Sunday at Aspire Church, healing your finances. The Lord spoke to me. I didn't recognize, talking about connections, I didn't recognize it was the Lord speaking to me about 3 weeks before this pandemic hit. I heard a word and it said, recession-proof your life. Well, I thought, well, that's funny because there's not a recession going on at all, and the economy is going great guns. The stock market is up, unemployment is low, everyone is doing well. And then the pandemic hit, and with it, the recession that we are finding ourselves in. People are unemployed, highest unemployment numbers in years and years and years and years. The stock market's been up and down and up and down. Finances are in a flux. This Sunday, healing your finances. It's going to change your life, because if there's one thing you know about my ministry, I understand prosperity. I'll share some prosperity pointers with you that'll help you to prosper even in recessionary times this Sunday. Catch it at AspireChurch.tv or on Facebook at Aspire Church TV. That is Sunday morning, 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. It starts sharp. It's going to be powerful. Wednesday and Friday, talking about connections. Next Sunday morning, healing your finances. I'm Dr. Leon Stutzman. Thanks for the connection. I'll look for you again.